Yeah, right. So that whole thing there is based on a religious concept because there is no such thing as the devil.
Exactly.
Never was.
Spell it in reverse, it means live.
Yeah, that's what that is, you know. There's no such thing as the devil. You see what I'm saying? The devil is nothing but a polarity of God. You can't have God without the polarity. It's the yin and yang symbol. And that's what makes things work. So the devil is divine.
And along the same lines of the names, because I believe that there's power in the names that you're given as well. There's validity in changing it to what you feel. But I was doing research on surnames because everyone's like, oh, black people's names are all slave names. And that's just not true. I was doing research and it was like a lot of the names, like my last name is Brown, so my family could have, when they were freed or whatever, gave themselves the name Brown because they gave themselves noble names.
85% of the English language is Egyptian. Right. Go get Gerald Massey's Book of the Beginning, Volume 1. 85% of the English language is Egyptian. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, these names, they've already tracked it back because you got your Celtic Druids, which was a branch of Egyptians. So all of that type of thing, you see, you know, they couldn't even speak. Who the hell you think taught them how to speak coming out of the caves? And they come up with beautiful languages. Damn, Greek language is beautiful. Why? Because it was created in Egypt. You see, they couldn't do it. They couldn't put together that.
Yeah, they didn't even have a Greece. They were just warring tribes at the time.
Right. So a lot of that stuff there, you see, a lot of that stuff there now, you know, like I said again, you know, we not being a studied people, you see, you can tell them anything, you know what I'm saying, like that. Hell, Muhammad is more a slave name than the British thing. Why? Cause shit. They started the slave trade.
Right.
And still doing it. You see. You see. Now I'm quite sure that was I'm saying it was originally an African dialect. Because that whole Arabia was look, I went to go see the Saudi Arabia expedition in 1989. And I was in there scratching my head. I'm still trying to find Saudi Arabia. And the guy looked at me, he said, I know why you're perplexed. Do you know that 85% of Saudi Arabia is blue-black? That was in 1989. And I saw it for myself. I thought I was in the West African exhibit, and it was the Saudi Arabian. So we know that those names originally were black. You see, but I'm saying if you're gonna make claim about slave master, about based on what somebody did, hell, the Arabs is the worst. You see what I'm saying? You know, you see, and as long as Mauritania and all the other places, they still got slavery, and they still the slave master. You look at those things like that, what's that?
Yeah, does sigil magic work?
Yeah, yeah, it works. That's why now you get a book called.
That's working left and right.
If you get a book called Urban Primitive, they bear witness to something I knew years ago. The sigils is the different designs in the markets. They call them bevets or whatever in voodoo. They call them signatures in Palo. You see what I'm saying? They mark you on the face in Africa. And all those are sigils of spiritual things to bring down spiritual energy. Guess what else is a sigil? The graffiti. And so they got a book called Urban Primitive. And then they got the graffiti up in there. It's just now, graffiti now is mostly done by white folks. And in Europe, they got whole art exhibits with graffiti and stuff like that, So, but sigil magic, it works, because that, you know, it's no different than the seals and stuff that you see in the ancient stuff. You see, it's this stuff to bring down certain energies, and certain energies or bind certain energies. Bind certain energies. So that stuff works. There's a book called Basic Sigil Magic by Philip Cooper. Yeah, Philip Cooper, a real good one. And he has one of the best books on magic, but it's out of print. And I often don't understand why a book that came out in the 90s is out of print for most of the 2000s. And it was the best one of the best ones is called The Magician.
The Magician?
The Magician, Studies in Effective Magic by Philip Cooper, off the chain. Because it starts with you unloading your blueprint or the stuff that you've been taught as a child that's wrong information. So what happens is the mind receives information. Then what the mind does, it processes that information and then it acts upon the information in your life. So your world is created based on the information in your life. If the mind receives the wrong information, it will produce the wrong world.
Yeah.
But when the right information comes, it will reject the right information. So what you have to do is you have to talk to your spirit and tell your spirit, you know, I have received inadequate information, and can you release this inadequate information so that I can learn newer things. So that's the reason why your family members and all the people that's dead have problems getting with this and stuff. You see what I'm saying? Because they still are holding the blueprint of wrong information. And the mind will reject right information. It's just like a bum. If you give him some water and he go, oh, alcohol, oh, what the hell is that? It's water. Because he's trained his body, you see what I'm saying? You see, so that's what that's about. It's the same thing when you get the right information. That's why you have problems grappling with this stuff. And concept I'm trying to figure out. You see, like that. Yeah, what's that?
But that also ties into physics. I mean, two things can't occupy the same space at the same time.
Thing, right. But the book, the magic book, I want to say the book, the magic, he goes into eliminating that blueprint. He tells you all about that. Certain information was given by your preachers, your teachers, your parents. And once he goes into that chapter, then he starts going into the magic to reverse it. It's called The Magician. Studies in Effective Magic by Philip Cooper. But it's out of print. You can get them on the internet, you know, you have to look, but it's worth having.
So is that like
that's
law
the
of
one
attraction?
to start with.
Is that like law of attraction?
It's in that particular aspect too. All that come out of things. All of the magic, the laws of attraction comes from the Kabbalion. And the Kabbalion comes out of Hermetic texts out of Egypt. Okay. So only thing the people from the laws of attraction did is they took the sixth, which one? The laws of attraction is one of the. It's one of those 7 Hermetic laws.
Yeah, but they say that's the most powerful one.
No, it ain't the most powerful. It can't be. If laws, how the one law and stuff like that, that's how they got people trapped. And that's why even Deepak Chopra say. So this whole thing of law of attraction now is people trying to get money.
I was just about to say, it's the most powerful for people that's greedy.
Yeah, but what is that gonna do about your soul?
Right.
They're not feeding it.
You see, so but there's 7 Hermetic laws.
Right.
So how the hell you gonna take one out?
Right.
And it's supposed to be, you know, no. So what it is you got to get the Kabbalion, which is the Hermetic law. And if you get the Doreen Virtue book on the Kabbalion, she got the Kabbalion on CD in the book. And stuff. Doreen Virtue book on the Kabbalion and all, yeah.
Yes, if people can just grasp the idea that everything happens twice, first in thought, and then it manifests,
right,
they would realize how powerful they are and choose how they think and what they feed the mind very, very carefully.
Yes.
Everything happens twice. Even this building that we're in right now, once in somebody, right, and then it was manifested.
Right, yeah. And so that book goes into all that, but there's another book called, what's the name of the book? It's a book talking about these are the other 7 Hermetic laws. But get the Kabbalion. That's where they got it from. They accessed one and came with this secret. Right. The reason why it's a secret because they get one of the 7. You see what I'm saying? Like that, yeah.
Yes, you know, in one of your DVDs, you said that one sheet come from Ireland. Is she a white woman?
Who? Bridget?
Yeah.
The Irish origins is black.
Exactly.
Irish origins is black. They call them the Negroes of Europe. You see what I'm saying? The Irish origins is black. You get a movie called Secrets of Rowan-ish. And it's the Secrets of Rowan-ish. And in that movie, they talk about how the Ireland people came from these dark, dark seals. You see, they're talking about black people. You see, it was probably inhabited by the Egyptians because your boy, when St. Patrick's is credited for running all the